Morning, supervisors and general public. My name is Hanley Chan. I'm applying for seat number 9. I was born and raised in San Francisco, so I've been here all my life. But I moved down to South San Francisco because San Francisco's housing is really expensive, and I couldn't afford a house in San Francisco, so I moved down in South San Francisco. Ever since I've been in the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, I served in the Civil Grand Jury for 06-07 term, and I served in numerous boards like Organization of Chinese Americans, Chinese American Veterans, and Chinese American Heroes. I would like to reapply for this seat to represent my constituency, the Chinese Americans, that represents almost 30% of this great city. I spent my time educating the Chinese American about open government, about sunshine and transparency in every government. And I would like to reapply for this seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. Nicholas Goldman.
Good morning, supervisors.
Welcome back.
I'm currently holding seat 10 on the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force. I've been there for 2 terms, and I'd like you to return me for a 3rd. Thank you. As much as I've been honored to be on the task force, I can't say that it's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of challenges that face us, and I'd like to be there to help meet them. We continue to have a lot of complaints, and that indicates to me that the departments haven't got the message that they need to comply with the Sunshine Ordinance. Also, we don't have enough enforcement. We refer cases out to be enforced and nothing happens. What the problem with that is the departments think they can get away with whatever they want to, and the people, the citizens that come before us, think that if they bring a complaint, nothing will ever happen. And I think that's a real problem. I think people need to know that when they bring a complaint to us and we find for them, that something actually happens, and that's not going on right now. So I ask you to return me to the task force so I can work on those issues. I thank you, and I'll answer any questions you have.
Well, thank you. Good to see you again, Mr. Goldman. Is there any member of the public wishes to comment on item number 2? You have 3 minutes to do so. Welcome.
Hi, supervisors. My name is Kimo Crossman, and I'm a member of the Sunshine Posse. We were hoping to give comment on each of the people applying, but I'll try to just be, I guess, quick about this. We sent out a questionnaire to all the members asking about their thoughts on Sunshine, and some of the members chose not to complete that questionnaire. We sent a copy of the questionnaire to all the supervisors, and just as there's issues at the federal level when judges won't provide any information about how they feel about judicial issues and so forth, we also think that it's anti-democratic for people that are applying for a role that's a quasi-judicial role not to reveal anything about their views about Sunshine or how it should be applied and so forth. So unfortunately, there's a few members that have applied that we actually think have done a good job in Sunshine, that we would ask that you would continue those seats for a week to give them a chance to complete the questionnaire. Additionally, there is one member that has applied that we are strongly not in favor of, and that is that Mr. Pilpel. And this is not just a difference of opinion. This is actual aspects of what he's done on the task force. We've sent a list of the issues, but some of them have to do with, for example, a scenario where 2 complaints came to the task force with different hearings providing the exact same information. He voted in favor of one person and voted against another person. Another scenario, another issue that commonly is a problem with Mr. Pilpel, he demands 110% of information or else he won't find a violation. So unless he has every piece of information and more, then he doesn't find a violation. 90% of the time, when the task force votes, everyone votes against him, and he's the sole vote that's for a dismissal. Mr. Pilpel only reads the law that's for dismissing departments rather than what's for the for the public. He uses arcane parliamentary procedures to try to stymie the actions of the task force, and he can't even get a second when he does that. No one else in the task force will even give him a second. I could go on and on, but these are not issues that have to do with, philosophy of how to apply sunshine. These are or difference of opinion. These are serious problems with someone who isn't acting in a fair and democratic manner, and we would strongly urge you not to reappoint Mr. Pilpel. I could give you a longer list if you wanted it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crossman. Member Wolf, as Mr. Comstock called you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, committee members, supervisors. My name is Bruce Wolf. I currently am serving on seat 8 on the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, and I have a statement to read. It may run over about 10 or 15 seconds. I'd appreciate your indulgence. I'm here today to express my gratitude for the opportunity to serve the people and yourselves, and with a great group of learned colleagues of whom I'm equally proud of the work we have done. Although it's been a very rewarding experience, unfortunately, I will not be asking for your approval for reappointment for several reasons. You'll be hearing from many people who have applied for appointment and reappointment to the task force. Hear them all very carefully, but most of all, hear what the public has to say about them too, for it is this body for which it serves. You maintain fair and balanced decisions, and I ask that to continue through this process and to respect the diversity on this body too. Additionally, my seat, or one seat on the task force, is designated for a person with a physical disability or really any disability. As you know, I still maintain myself as a verified person with a disability, and sans any applicants for my seat or any other seat, I'll be happy and honored to continue to serve in seat 8 until you have identified and approved a replacement. I wholeheartedly request that you delay any replacement of my seat until you have made this specific identification. It has come to pass that while we all stand true to bringing as much sunshine and transparency to our government here in San Francisco, there continues to be a group of consistent violators of the voter-approved law despite continual findings by the task force that they are in violation. No, at this time, these complaints are very valid in most, if not all cases, as enough similar complaints have been deliberated and patterns emerge. The problem begins when the entities authorized to carry out the enforcement on behalf of the task force refuse to do so, and recently several cases were referred to the State Attorney General. They are an independent entity. They're authorized to carry out the orders of determination of the task force. Instead, they declined to perform their function and sent a recommendation that our local enforcement agency, the Ethics Commission, carry out this function. The law does not specify a ranking or low-level alternative process before it goes to any other enforcement entity, like the Attorney General, the District Attorney, or yourselves, the Board of Supervisors. It was this occurrence that led me to make my decision today. I felt that despite all our best efforts to maintain and curtail violations of the Sunshine Ordinance, a voter-approved law, not even our own enforcement authorities were up to the task of carrying out their duties in a day and age when much higher levels of government have caused serious situations and harm to the people without reproach. When asked, the Ethics Commission claims some confusion as to what they are supposed to do with our decisions. We spend countless hours per month as volunteers to bring as professional process as possible to represent and serve the people of our city and to ensure that there is open and transparent government so that you can be sure you are also getting all the information available about everything. You spend countless hours in performing your duties and making wise and informed decisions. If it is your decision not to appoint somebody to my seat at this time, I am prepared as chair of the Rules Committee of the task force to hold hearings for a recommended process for the Ethics Commission so that we all can be served well by the ordinance. The Ethics Commission also claims that they have no process for enforcement for carrying out the task force orders of determination, but they continue to claim that once the orders come in, then it is within their jurisdiction to re-adjudicate the matter and usually, if not always, dismiss it. Under the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Okay, thank you.
I read your email.
Sorry?
I read your email.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for your service to the task force. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Ron Lee. I serve in a lot of committees in the Asian community, Chinatown, the Chinese American Democratic Club. I'm the vice president. I serve in the Chinatown night markets and many committees, regarding the Asian. And I like to recommend that Hanley Chan remains on the task force because he represents the Asian community, and I'd like to see that the task force remains diversified to include the Chinese. And that's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.